You ever notice how people talk about common sense like it's this magical tool we're all supposed to have? Like some kind of Swiss Army knife of wisdom that everybody keeps in their back pocket. Just use common sense, they say. Yeah, sure. And while you're at it, use your X-ray vision and your jetpack too, pal. Because those are about as common sense these days. I've met toasters with a better decision-making system than most of the people I bumped into on a Tuesday afternoon. Here's the thing nobody wants to admit. If common sense were really common, you wouldn't have to say it out loud. It'd be obvious, like gravity. Nobody has to walk around saying, "Oh, don't forget, folks, gravity, still working today." Nobody needs a bumper sticker reminding you that gravity is holding your ass down. You just know. But common sense? Oh no, we've got to keep reminding people because most of them are out here acting like they left their brain in the glove compartment. And the funny part? Everybody thinks they've got it. Everybody. You ask someone, "You think you got common sense?" And they'll puff up their chest, of course. That's the one thing I've got. Yeah, well, that's the one thing everybody thinks they've got right before they stick a fork in the toaster because it looked like it might work. People think they're logical just because they don't drool when they use the microwave. That's the bar. I've always thought common sense is kind of like deodorant. The people who need it the most never seem to use it. You ever notice that? You sit down in a meeting, or you're standing in line at the grocery store, and you hear somebody just say the dumbest thing you've ever heard in your life. And you're thinking, wow, this guy must have missed the common sense memo. He didn't even skim the Cliff's Notes. But he'll go home at night convinced he's the smartest guy on the block. Probably has a diploma from the University of My Gut Feelings. Now they say common sense is a practical judgment. Practical, the key word. Meaning it's not some fancy philosophical theory, it's just knowing basic stuff. Like don't eat soup with a fork, don't buy a used parachute, don't marry someone you met 5 minutes ago at the bus stop. That's not advanced calculus, that's survival. And yet here we are, surrounded by people who look at wet paint signs and still need to touch it. Because their brains are wired like, "Oh, well, I better check for myself." Yeah, sure, let's get a fingerprint in there while you're at it, Picasso. The best part is when common sense collides with modern life. Like common sense tells you not to touch something that's hot. But here comes somebody, brand new smartphone in hand, sticking it in the microwave because it'll charge faster. True story. You've got warning labels on everything now because common sense packed its bags and skipped town. Hair dryers with a label, a do not use while sleeping. Who the hell is falling asleep mid-blow dry? Who are these people? They're out there, that's who. And coffee cups, oh, the coffee cups. Content's hot, really? Coffee is hot. Thank you, legal department. I thought I was ordering an iced cappuccino that magically heated itself up on the drive home. You ever think, maybe if you need that warning? Coffee isn't your problem, life is your problem. Life is your problem. Maybe you should be drinking something safer, like a juice box. It's everywhere, the way people drive. Oh man, the highway is like a museum of missing common sense. You got people merging at 2 miles an hour onto a freeway going 70. That's not merging, that's auditioning for a funeral. And then the other side of the coin, you got some hotshot doing 95 in the rain, weaving like he's trying to set a world record in stupidity. And these are the same people who'll cut you off and then flip you the finger like you're the asshole. That's what happens when common sense takes a nap at the wheel. Then you've got shopping carts. People will order a triple cheeseburger, large fries, fried onion rings, mozzarella sticks, and then a Diet Coke. That's their line in the sand. That's where the health kick begins. I'm watching my calories. Oh yeah, buddy, the Diet Coke is really what's gonna save you. That Diet Coke is like bringing a Band-Aid to a gunfight. It's symbolic. It's like saying, I'm responsible. And then you've got the health nuts on the other side. The ones who drink wheatgrass smoothies at 7 in the morning. 7 in the morning, you know what wheatgrass tastes like? Lawn clipping. They're standing in the kitchen choking down a shot of lawn juice like it's a privilege. And then they brag about it. I feel so energized. No, you feel nauseous. Your body is begging you for a pancake, but you won't listen because you read somewhere that grass is the new breakfast. People are funny with money, too. You ever notice? Somebody will drive across town, burn $10 in gas just to save 50 cents on toilet paper. And then they'll brag about it like they've hacked the system. I got a deal. Yeah, a deal. You spend half your day chasing Charmin like it's gold bullion. You didn't save money, you saved paper for your ass. Then there's the lottery. People line up every week spending money they don't have on odds that are worse than being struck by lightning while juggling flaming bowling pins in a rainstorm. And if you point that out, they say, oh well, somebody's gotta win. Yeah, somebody, but not you, Bob. Not with those odds. But they keep playing because hope is the one addiction society approves of. People treat the lottery like a retirement plan. I'll hit it big one day. That's not a plan, that's a fairy tale with scratch-off tickets. Technology? Oh, don't even get me started. Every new gadget that comes out, people act like it's gonna fix their whole life. They line up at the store, camp out overnight just to get the latest phone. And then what do they do with it? They use it to send smiley faces and take blurry pictures of their lunch. That's it. Thousands of dollars worth of technology to show me your meatloaf. Common sense would tell you that's ridiculous. But foolishness tells you it's progress. And people don't even use the features. You've got a device that can calculate the distance to the moon, translate 6 languages, and access the entire history of human knowledge. And somebody's using it to take a quiz that tells them what kind of potato they are. That's where we are as a species. The height of human technology being used to figure out if you're a mashed potato or a curly fry. Relationships are full of comedy, too. You see couples arguing in public, loud enough for everyone to hear, and you realize they're not even arguing about the thing. No one's fighting about the socks on the floor, they're fighting about 20 years of resentment wrapped up in a sock. And they think they're making a point, but all they're doing is giving the rest of us free entertainment while we shop for cereal. And dating? Forget about it. You ever notice how people describe themselves? I'm just looking for someone who gets me. Really? Gets you? Half the time you don't even get yourself. You think you're complicated and mysterious, but really you're just a person who eats microwave burritos at midnight and pretends to like jazz because it sounds sophisticated. People want a soulmate, but most of the time what they really need is a roommate who doesn't eat their leftovers. Workplaces are just as funny. Offices are like comedy clubs with fluorescent lighting. People hold meetings about meetings and they all sit around the table nodding like they're solving the world's problems. Meanwhile, nothing actually gets done. They use buzzwords to sound important. But we need to synergize and circle back. What the hell does that even mean? It means you've got nothing real to say, but you're getting paid to say it. And everyone else is pretending they understand because they don't want to look stupid. That's the great irony. Everyone afraid to look stupid in a room that's already filled with stupidity. Airports? Oh, the comedy show writes itself at airports. You've got people who've traveled before, but the second they step inside, their brains fall out of their heads. Suddenly they can't read sign. Where's gate B12? It's right there, big letters glowing like the gates of heaven. Oh, I didn't see it. No, you didn't look. Then you've got the people who rush to get on the plane first. First, like it's a prize. Congratulations, you get to sit in a chair that doesn't move for the next 4 hours. What a victory! And when the plane lands, everybody jumps up at once, crowding the aisle like sardines trying to escape the can. Where are you going? The door isn't even open. You're not storming Normandy, you're waiting for a jet bridge. Sit your ass down. But no, people are pressed together, standing like cattle, holding their bags, sweating, sighing, because they think those 3 extra minutes of standing are going to change their life. And you've got to love shopping. People pushing carts full of nonsense they don't need. Oh, look, 3 for $10. Do you need 3? No. Will you eat 3? No. But you buy 3 because you think you've outsmarted the grocery stores laughing at you. They set that trap and you walked right into it. Human foolishness in aisle 4. And don't even get me started on fads. Every year people latch onto some new craze like it's the secret to happiness. Low carb, high carb, all protein, no protein, drink this, eat that, spin around 3 times while chanting in Latin. It never ends. And people fall for it every time. They'll pay good money for nonsense because deep down they think the shortcut exists. They think wisdom comes in a bottle or a pair of shoes. Meanwhile, they're walking around proving the opposite. The comedy is built right in. You don't even have to exaggerate, just observe. Just observe. Human beings are naturally absurd. They're out there taking selfies in the middle of traffic, wearing socks with sandals, arguing with the cashier about expired coupons like it's a Supreme Court case. You stand back, you look at it, and you realize the world is one giant comedy sketch. And we're all the punchline. Because at the end of the day, people don't want to learn from mistakes. They want to repeat them and act surprised. That's where the real laugh is. Not in the accident, but in the replay. Over and over again, like reruns of a bad sitcom nobody asked for. And the best part? They'll defend it. They'll argue with you. Oh, no, this time it's different. No, it's not. It's the same thing with a new coat of paint. The comedy isn't that people are foolish. It's that they don't know they're foolish. That's the joke that never stops being funny. And the punchline is this: people don't just create comedy. They are comedy. Did you ever notice laughter's the only alarm clock people don't try to shut off? That's the thing. You tell somebody something serious, something important, something that might actually help them, and they glaze over like you just recited the tax code. But you wrap it in a joke. Suddenly the light bulb goes on. Boom! Same idea, different delivery. Now it makes sense. People don't want to be lectured. They want to be entertained. That's the human condition right there. You can't spoon feed them vegetables, but you dip it in cheese, and suddenly they're eating like it's the Super Bowl. That's why laughter's powerful. It's like sneaking broccoli into a brownie. You get the nutrients without even realizing it. People think they're laughing at a punchline, but what they're really doing is admitting the truth. You ever hear someone laugh too hard at something? That's not just humor. That's recognition. That's their soul going, oh no, that's me. And we all do it. We laugh hardest when it's about us. Somebody else's nonsense? Yeah, you chuckle. But when it's your nonsense up there, when the mirror gets held up and you see yourself in it, that's when you lose it. Because you can't deny it anymore. You can't hide from it. You just have to laugh and hope nobody else in the room noticed the guilty look on your face. That's why laughter wakes people up. Because deep down, people know when they're full of it. They know when the world around them doesn't make sense. But it's hard to admit it. It's embarrassing to say, yeah, I've been dumb about that for years. Nobody wants to own up to their own nonsense. But you put it in a joke. Suddenly it's safe. It's palatable. You can nod along, you can laugh, and nobody has to know you're the punchline. Think about it. Some of the smartest revelations you've ever had probably came while you were laughing. Not in school, not in some boardroom, not while reading a thick book with tiny print. No, it was when somebody said something funny that cut right through the nonsense and hit you in the gut. That's when it sticks, because laughter burns it into your brain. You can forget a lecture, but you'll never forget a joke that made you spit coffee on your shirt. And the beauty is, the world gives you endless material. Every day, you wake up and there it is, more nonsense, more contradictions, more idiocy on display. You can either cry about it or laugh about it. And let me tell you, crying gets you funny looks at the grocery store. Laughter, at least, gets you invited to the barbecue. It's like watching the news. You tune in, and within 5 minutes, you're either reaching for tissues or reaching for a drink. But you start laughing at it. Suddenly, it's manageable. Because you're not letting it crush you, you're taking power back. You're saying, yeah, the world's a circus, but I bought a ticket and I'm enjoying the show. And people underestimate that. They think laughter is just about fun. No, laughter is survival. It's the pressure valve. If you don't laugh at the madness, it'll eat you alive. Life throws curveballs. And if you're standing there trying to be serious about all of it, you're going to get bruised. But if you laugh, you dodge it. You bounce back. That's why you see people go through the hardest times and they're still cracking jokes. It's not because they don't feel it, it's because laughter's the only tool that works. And it's not just personal, it's collective. You put a room full of strangers together, and the second they all laugh at the same thing, boom, they're connected. Doesn't matter who they are, where they're from, what they believe, they're bonded in that moment. Because laughter doesn't care about your resume, or your bank account, or your political sticker. It just cuts straight to the human in you. It says, hey, we're all ridiculous. Let's admit it together. You ever been in one of those situations where everyone's tense, everyone's stiff, and then somebody cracks the perfect joke? Suddenly the whole room changes. The weight lifts. Everyone breathes again. That's the alarm clock. That's the wake-up call. And nobody wants to hit the snooze button because it feels too damn good and the world needs it. Because let's be honest, the world's kind of insane. You walk outside and within 10 minutes you've seen something that makes no sense. Now, a guy arguing with a parking meter, a woman walking a cat on a leash, somebody yelling into a Bluetooth headset like they're a spy in a bad movie. And you think, am I the only one seeing this? But then you laugh and you realize, no, this is just life. Laughter is how we acknowledge the absurdity without losing our minds. Because if you take everything seriously, if you try to rationalize all the stupidity, you'll go crazy. You can't fix it all. You can't even explain it all. But you can laugh at it. And that's enough. That's how you stay sane. And here's the thing. Laughter tells the truth in a way seriousness never can. You tell somebody a hard truth directly and they'll fight you. They'll argue, they'll deny, they'll storm out of the room. But you slip that same truth into a joke and suddenly they're laughing and nodding. They're agreeing with you without even realizing it. You bypass the defenses. Humor is like the Trojan horse of reality. You sneak it right into their brain, and by the time they know what hit them, it's too late. They've already admitted it to themselves. And that's why it works as a wake-up call. Not because it's soft, not because it's gentle, but because it's honest. Laughter doesn't sugarcoat, it amplifies. It takes the nonsense and holds it up like a spotlight, saying, look at this. Isn't this ridiculous? And once you've laughed at it, you can't unsee it. You can't go back to pretending it made sense. That's the real punch of comedy. Not the setup, not the delivery, but the aftermath. The moment you walk away still thinking about it, still laughing to yourself in the car, and then it hits you. And that was true. That's the wake-up call. That's the part that sticks. And the best thing, nobody can take that from you. Once you've seen the truth through laughter, you can't unlearn it. It's permanent, like seeing the strings on a puppet show. Can't ever believe the illusion again. That's the gift of laughter. It's funny now, but it's clarity forever. Because sometimes the only way to open your eyes is to laugh so hard they water.